The nightmare scenario for Major League Baseball is happening as we speak. What's up? Fred Richani, TSC, your home for sports news updates and everything in between. Wow. Jeff Passan, ESPN report that the Miami Marlins have not one, not two, not three, but 14 plus staff and players test positive for COVID-19. Now, I should note they did play the Phillies. They did beat the Phillies the other night. What's crazy, though, is I believe they held out like 3 or 4 players who tested positive, still played, which is ridiculous. Kind of similar to the Nationals who had Juan Soto test positive and still played against the Yankees. Granted, that was only one person to the best of our knowledge, but still kind of ridiculous if you're taking a safety-first approach, at least from a public relations standpoint. And yeah, now the Marlins have been predictably forced to cancel their home opener, and news is just bursting out here. So I'm reading here that the MLB obviously is meeting to figure out what the hell they're going to do. Obviously, first things first, health-wise, hope Juan Soto gets better. Hope all the players, all the staff gets better. But my God, that's crazy. That is just absolutely crazy. And from what I understand too, the Phillies are not happy about this, and the Phillies are also quarantining. And yeah, so Matt Gelb reports here, sources, the Phillies are quarantining their entire visiting clubhouse staff after exposure to the Marlins this weekend. Some were tested yesterday and awaiting results. Yankees brought their own clubhouse staff to Philly last night. That is a nightmare scenario. That's a nightmare scenario. And look, I would like to think that the MLB did have this type of scenario in mind, did have contingency plans in place. Hopefully the contingency plan wasn't just, YOLO, let's do a 60-game season, because this looks really, really bad. And I'm seeing here a tweet that's attributed to The Athletic. Even worse, Don Mattingly said his team never really considered not playing. Oh, okay. So if you test positive, if you have multiple people test positive, you never consider not playing. Has anybody been following the news? This is the thing people got to understand here. I don't care which side you're on, whatever. Okay, this is a public health issue. 2, it's not how bad a person is that's going to cause them to not play a game or a team to not play a game. It's the amount of cases, because these athletes are some of the most healthy people in the world, which is great, but that's not most of the population, which means that's not most of the coaches, most of the staff, interns, whoever else is working the game, MLB staff, journalists, whatever, anybody else they come into contact with, maybe their families. So, yeah, this is the doomsday scenario here. And to think that maybe, just maybe, there are teams that are being flippant about this, that still aren't taking this seriously. Maybe the MLB was just flippant about this. I don't want to think that, but maybe they were flippant about this and didn't take this seriously. To think that is pretty disturbing, because you see Adam Silver with the NBA. They're not perfect at all, but they at least have a bubble. They got a majority of players on track. They got a majority of players on the same page. Hell, I got a buddy of mine who's working for one of the teams right now who's going to be in the bubble for a while, and so far, knock on wood, so good. MLB, not in a bubble. Pretty damn risque. So, look, I would love to see baseball complete its season. I would love to see the playoffs. I would love to see the craziness, the unpredictability that is the MLB season and postseason, as we do every single year. But, man, this just seems way too dangerous. Some people would say, maybe if you're a doctor, you would say way too careless. And I don't know. I don't know. We've seen with the UFC, they've done a relatively great job of isolating fighters, of testing multiple fighters, of erring on the side of caution. And say what you want about Dana White, and I have a lot to say about him. He's done a damn good job protecting the fighters in that sense. That being said, the UFC at most runs once weekly. So you could get a dozen or so fighters, cornermen, whatever, be able to test them on the spot, maybe isolate them like you would at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. Of course, they just ran Fight Island in Abu Dhabi, which has its own testing procedures and everything. But as far as going from home stadium to another stadium to another stadium, traveling back and forth, I mean, man, I don't know. That seems pretty damn risky for America right now. And if you were just talking about the Marlins, I mean, hello, the Miami Marlins, unfortunately right now, Florida, from my Florida peeps, I mean, cases are exploding, and it's just quite unfortunate. But I want to hear from everybody here. What do you think about the MLB season? What do you think about the Marlins? Do you think that the MLB can safely finish the season? Let me know. Leave a comment below. If you enjoyed this update, like, share. Don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications for more updates like this. We also do baseball interviews, game reviews, and everything in between. Until next time, everybody, as always, enjoy the games and please, please stay safe.